Page 28, Allegretto 1. Let's look at this. Looks like they're introducing tempo. Tempo is time, or in music it's speed. How fast do we take it? Allegretto, you see it at the beginning of the piece. It's not just the title. It's actually the that's the tempo. The word is above the top staff there at the beginning. And there's a difference of opinion on what Allegretto means. So, okay. Generally speaking, Allegretto is a little faster than a moderate speed. I call it a happy speed. It's when you're in a really good mood. And okay, it's not a fast speed. It's slower than that, but and it's all relative. I don't know how fast it is. You decide how fast Allegretto is. Most metronomes, it's a range, and they'll list in the metronome somewhere. There's a guide which says, well, between this speed and this speed on the metronome is Allegretto. When we play them in the video, I go everything slow, because I'm here for you to hear the note. I'm not here to perform these for you. There's probably plenty of recordings of this elsewhere. You can go find a recording. If there isn't, then I might play a little bit of it to give you an idea what it actually sounds like. Otherwise, I'm playing it slow so you can hear the notes, so you play with me, so we make sure you're playing the right notes. I said earlier in a couple videos about primary chords for a key. This piece is in the key of C major. You use the C scale. If you haven't, I recommend you go through my video on the C scale and learn it. Do the beginner stuff in there for C major. I've talked about primary chords. Well, this, believe it or not, has the primary chords, or at least a couple of them. But you're not playing them as block chords. You're not playing all the notes at the same time. You're playing them as broken chords, or one note at a time. The first measure is here. Well, that's a one chord. We're just playing it one note at a time. It's still a one chord. Then in the second line, first measure, you have this. That's the 5/7 chord. See, in the past we had a 5 chord, which is here. But now they put the F in there. The F is the 7th. So now it's a 5/7 chord. And I'll talk about what a 7th is later on. I just, well, 7th of what? What's 7th? We haven't talked about intervals. Suzuki, I wonder if they talk about intervals. I don't know. Other method books talk about intervals, all right? Wouldn't hurt to go get one of them and go through it, so you're getting all this theory behind it. In the second line, that is a 5/7 chord. So now we have the 1 chord, the 5/7 chord. And you've had the 4 chord before here. I don't know that the 4 chord is in this piece. Just know that there's 3 primary chords, and that's what they are. Now at the end of page 29, at the bottom line, look at that. This is the first measure. In the left hand, you have this chord. Okay. Believe it or not, that's still a 5/7 chord. They just rearranged the notes a little bit. The notes in a 5/7 chord are this. They don't have to be in this arrangement. It needs to be a G, B, D, and an F. You can put them in any arrangement. You can leave out notes. It doesn't matter. So when they do this, it's still a 5/7 chord. They just put the E on the bottom. Roadmap on this thing. You see a repeat sign at the bottom of page 28. So we're going to play page 28 twice. Then on page 29, there's a repeat sign at the bottom, but there's a reverse repeat sign at the top, which means we're going to play page 29 twice. I want to talk a little bit about the phrase markings they have in here, because it gets confusing sometimes. Look at the first line on that curved line, that phrase, okay? The line at the end of the line, the curved line does not end with the note. It goes on past the note. And if you look at the beginning of the second line, that curved line, it doesn't start with the note, it starts before the note. That is their way of indicating that all of that, both lines, is one phrase. You have to connect the whole thing. So when a phrase goes more than a line long, that's how they do it. The line goes beyond and the next line starts before. If the line starts at the note, like on line 3, that's the beginning of a phrase there. But it's important because it makes a difference. Do you put in a break there or not? And well, no, not unless it's between phrases. There is one tricky thing at the bottom of page 29 for the left hand. Look at the last line in the first measure. You come down here to the G, you're spreading out to an octave, or almost an octave. It's a G to an F. They're saying use the third finger on the B. It's fine if that works for you. You can, I tend to, use the fourth finger on it, because in the fingering for that chord, it is fourth finger. Because that is the G major 7th, G7 chord. In C major, it's 5/7, but in any key, it's a G7 chord. Just know that when you play the last measure, the third line in the left hand, you're here. And then that G, you got to go down an octave to get the G below it. Okay? Just be prepared for that. Then when I'm going from here, I got to go back up here and put the little finger on the C. You may have to look down for that, of course. Okay. Just so you know. Try not to look at the keyboard any more than you have to, though. Now, when you get this pattern like this in the left hand, just transfer the weight from one finger to the other. You're just kind of rolling, and the wrist will just naturally do that if you let it. That's fine. It's going in a circle. That's fine. Dynamics. You do the dynamics. You got MF for medium loud and MP for medium soft, and that is the melody which is in the right hand in this piece throughout. And the phrasing and bring out the melody and all blah blah, all that crap, all that junk you gotta bring out. So let's give this a try. 3/4 time, I'll give us 3 counts and let's play it. Both stabs are in treble clef, right? So you're up here. One, ready, go. Repeat. Repeat. I don't know if there's a recording of this on YouTube or anywhere or not. I don't know that it's really called Allegretto 1 either. So give you an idea of what it sounds like. I don't know that I'll play the whole thing, but here. Something like that.